Hey guys, we got another one for you. Dissection of violence here. Let's get right into it. We got UFC Baku. Interesting card. Earlier start time. I believe it starts at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Let's get right into it though. We have starting off tonight. We have Mohammed Usman versus Hamdi Abdelwahab. Honestly, I don't give two craps about this fight. This is a really bad fight. We have Hamdi Abdelwahab, who arguably lost to Jamal Pogues. He's fighting Muhammad Usman, who carries a lot of physicality. He hits pretty hard. Other than that, though, he's pretty dog shit. Like, if I'm being honest with you guys, I think Hamdi Abdelwahab is more technical on the feet. Not by much, but I think he is. I'm gonna lean Hamdi here, but I'm not confident. This is a very, very big pass spot for me. I have no interest in betting this spot. Even live betting this spot, I have no interest. Probably gonna go to the bathroom for this fight. Go get a coffee, whatever. Yeah, man, this is a really, really bad fight. Hamdi, don't get fooled by the undefeated record. He should be 3-1. Yeah, I think Hamdi is gonna stick behind the jab. I think he's gonna use footwork. I don't think that we're going to see any grappling because Usman's decently physical. We'll use good takedown defense to make sure Hamdi doesn't get anything off. Yeah, I think Hamdi wins this fight, but big time pass spot for me. I have no interest in betting this fight. Yeah, moving on. We have Azat Maksum versus Tagir Ulanbekov. I gotta go with Tagir. Azat is he can be fun to watch. He can be dangerous on the feet, nice throws, decent experience. 15-1, no joke. Um, the win over Tyson Nam was questionable. Um, yeah, he's got a bunch of wins over in decent promotions like Octagon, Octagon and Brave. So it's like we've seen some good experience out of him, but the loss to Charles Jourdain wasn't a great look. Forgot they even fought. Um, Yeah, I gotta go with Tagir here. I feel like his grappling's gonna be better. He's gonna have some nice front chokes, that he can attack. I don't know how many opportunities he's gonna get in this fight because I don't see Maxim shooting, but you never know. Maybe as he's getting up, he gives up his neck in a front choke. I don't know. We'll see. I think Tagir. I think Tagir is gonna be the better fighter of the two. But I would not be surprised to see a split somehow. So I'm just gonna pass altogether on this spot. But I do think the line's pretty accurate. I do think Ulanbekov's some more experience, proven, um, and I think skilled fight. I don't actually. Yeah, I think he's a more skilled fighter. I'm gonna go with Tagir here. I'm gonna go with Tagir by submission. That is probably submission or decision is probably the most likely outcome. Yeah. Moving on, we have Irina Alekseeva versus Claudia Sygula. Another fight I'm not going to speak too much about. Pretty horrible UFC fighters to be in the UFC. You have 6-2 Claudia Sygula versus Irina Alekseeva, who's 5-2. Honestly, both these girls should not be in the UFC, like I said. So I'm gonna keep my opinions pretty brief on this fight. I do think I think Alekseeva is going to be the more dangerous threat. Mullins got her out of there. I do rate Mullins' top game more than Alekseeva. Alekseeva more so goes for leg locks. I'm gonna go with Alekseeva here inside the distance. I'm not confident enough to play it, but I do think that's what's gonna likely happen. This Claudia girl seems like a huge flake. She trains at a good gym at American Top Team. Maybe she's made the improvements, but I don't know. I doubt it. I think Irina Alekseeva is gonna be um I want to say too good for her, but she's pretty bad. So in a world, I could see Sygula maybe pulling off the upset. So I'm just gonna stay away from this fight. This is a really, really volatile fight. do yourself a favor, go out for a walk. Like I said, go get a drink, whatever you want to do. Save yourself 10, 15 minutes. I don't see this fight lasting a full 15, but it's women's MMA. You never know. You got to always account for that. So, maybe when you're out for your walk, go for an extra lap, just in case. But yeah, I got to go with Alekseeva here. Big pass spot for me, though. I've been back and forth on this fight for a while, so I'm just going to go with Alekseeva. Moving on, we have Daria Zheleznyakova taking on Melissa Mullins. Melissa Mullins, ooh, she's a pretty good grappler. She's got some good ground and pound. She can be pretty vicious on top, decent submissions. But on the feet, she's pretty bad, man. Like she leaves a lot to be desired on the feet. I think Zheleznyakova, like the first fight, is gonna light her up on the feet. Um, I do think Mullins, if to get taken to the ground again, will find another easy finish. So it's another pass spot for me. A lot of pass spots on this card. I have no interest in a lot of these fights. These are a lot of bad fights, with a lot of volatility. So I'm gonna go with Mullins here, but I would not be surprised to see Zheleznyakova make the improvements and find a win here. But basing off the first performance and how bad Zheleznyakova looked against Irina Alina, however you say her name, Perez. Yeah, I gotta go with Dare or Mullins here, but not confident pick. Like, please do yourself a favor. Again, go for a walk. Actually, no, this fight you can stay. This might be entertaining because striker versus grappler can be entertaining sometimes. So yeah. Is there anything else I gotta say about this fight? Not much else. I just gotta say that Mullins, she on top, like I said, she can be very, very dangerous. So other than a ground and pound prop, maybe look for a sub prop. It could be in play. So you never know. Moving on, we have Ismail Naurdiev versus Jun Park. Now, I'm not very familiar with Ismail Naurdiev. All I do know about him is he's pretty mid. Um, he's decent. Don't get me wrong. He's got almost 30 something fights. But the guys he's losing to are not that great. Bendal, Kutski, he's getting finished by those guys. They're not great. He's got to win over Bruno Silva. Took him to a decision. Not great look. Silva's horrible and washed. I don't know, man. I think this guy can be dangerous, so Park's gonna have to mind his P's and Q's. But other than that, I don't rate this guy too highly. Like he's good, but he's not at the same time. If you know what I'm trying to say. Like he has some decent wins, but you're getting leg kick TKO by Al Sawali. Like that's a terrible look. Sean Brady got him first round in the UFC. Not gonna take too much from that. You got to win over Oli Santalati. Not a bad win. So he's decent. He's a decent fighter, but at the UFC level, he hasn't proven to me that he's at this level yet. Bruno Silva win doesn't mean anything to me at this stage, so I'm gonna go with Jun Young Park here, just off of experience. The jab, sticking behind the jab, moving. This is gonna be a very very hard fight to pick. Honestly, this could go to a split decision, especially where they are. Baku, they might favor Naurdiev. I don't know though. We'll see. We had Park get really badly hurt by Tavares in the first round, which isn't a great look. Nadev can crack, so I don't know. Pass fight for me again, but I got to go with Naurdiev here, or not Naurdiev, Park here. I lean him by, I don't know, either submission or decision. Yeah. This is another fight where if you guys were to skip this fight too and go for a walk, it wouldn't be the worst idea. Don't recommend this fight. It's gonna be that exciting. If anyone's gonna make it exciting, it's gonna be Naurdiev. But yeah, moving on. We have Seokyeong Ko versus Oban Elliott. Now, from what I'm hearing, Mr. Ko is not dealing with sparring very well. Apparently, he quits in sparring. All these bad things about him, I'm hearing. He's got a win over Igor Cavalcanti, who is an absolute fraud. Can't take much away from that win. Um, you know, these guys are road to UFC guys. To me, they're not that good. Um, I got Oban Elliott here. pretty convincingly. I think Elliott's going to be the much more composed. Actually, I think he's going to be the more dangerous striker of the two. He's got a KO win over Bastil Hafez. Even the great Jack Della Maddalena couldn't do that. He's beat Kike Brito, Parsons. Like he's shown decent skill levels. Sheehan, he's beaten some decent level guys. Can he be chinned? Yes. Mardelis Feleminus got him a while ago, but that was a while ago, back in 2021. So I assume Oben's made the improvements. I gotta go with Oben here. This is probably one of the more confident picks on their card. I gotta go with Elliott here by I'm gonna go TKO, but I would not be surprised to see him win a decision. Seok Kyung Ko is still a mystery to me at this level. I don't know how good he is. I know he's lost some lower level guys. Um, so it's Owen Elliott. So I don't know. This is a good fight. Are the odds a little wide? Maybe yeah, but I still think Elliott should be a decent sized favorite here. I think he wins the fight. But yeah, Cage Warriors versus Road. I want to say Road UFC, but he was a Dana White Contender Series, so probably the same. Dana White Contender Series wasn't great either, so I gotta go with Elliott here. I know he was Contender Series too, but I don't know. Something I rate about Cage Warriors versus where was Mr. Seong Hyung Ko fighting out of AFC. I have no idea what the hell that is. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Open Elliott here by TKO or decision. Moving on, we have Muhammad Naimov versus Bogdan Grad. Now a lot of people I know are on Bogdan Grad, and I can understand why. He's very, very physical. He pushes the pace. He's gonna be in Naimov's face. Naimov's not known for his cardio. Yeah. I get it. I get it. The thing about Naimov is he's got decent footwork and he can crack really hard. Whereas Bogdan, he's very limited with his footwork. Um, and yeah, I just find he's a little bit predictable. I think Naimov is I think he's just a level above Bogdan Grad. Now Awfully isn't a great win, obviously. Awfully it was an awfully bad win. But Nathan Wood, I know he cheated to get that win, but that's a decent win. Jamie Malarkey finished him. The guy's got dangerous KO power. Um, I don't know, man. This is a hard fight for me to bet on. Um, I'm gonna be passing on this fight. I do think a split decision win over Aswell isn't a bad look, you know. But getting TKO by Tom Nolan is also not a good look. So I don't know, man. I gotta go with Naimov here, but this is another fight which I have no interest in betting. So if you guys are looking for bets this card, uh, slim pickings, man. Slim pickings. If all I could say, man. This is a really really weird card. I'm gonna go with Naimov here, but I guess values on Grad. I don't know. Pass fight for me. Yeah. Moving on, we have Nazim Sadykhov versus Nicholas Motta. I think Nicholas Motta is a very very live dog. Especially if this plays on the feet, which I expect it to. I think Sadykhov is a more technical, crisp striker. He's fighting at home too, so I do think it's going to be a problem on the outside for Nicholas if he can't crash or find the pocket exchanges. He can't find a good boxing exchanges. I don't think he's going to have much of a chance here. He's going to have to get his hands going. I think Sadykhov has more tools to win this fight, so for that reason, I will be picking Sadykhov. But I am going to be rooting for Nicholas Motta as I got to meet him in Vegas. He's a good dude. I think he follows the page as well, so rooting for Motta, but I do think Sadykhov wins. I think Sadykhov is more clean on the feet. This could be a moments versus minutes winner for Motta. I don't know. I'm not going to be betting on this fight, but I think Sadykhov is probably most likely going to win this fight. I think Mata's, like I said, best chance is to bomb in, land a big shot, but I just think Sadykhov is going to be too technical. and I think he's gonna be able to find the chin as well. Because Motta's been chin before too, so it's like don't forget that. A lot of people forget about Motta's, getting chinned by Manuel Torres, Jim Miller, and Antonio Carlos Ribeiro, Robert Hale. He's been chinned a few times, so I'm gonna go with Sadykhov here, but rooting for my boy Motta. Moving on, we have Maksum Orolbai versus Takif Musayev. Um, I gotta go with Maksum. One guy's fought in the UFC, one guy hasn't. Um, Guy's really experienced. Don't get me wrong; he could easily win the fights. I have some people I respect that are betting him, but a win over Koji Takeda doesn't mean much to me. Guy hasn't fought in 2 years. He's dangerous on the feet. Don't get me wrong, but he got TKO by Shabley to a body kick. I remember that. Tried to mark it as low blow, but it was a body. He got subbed by Roberto De Souza, who's a very, very credentialed grappler. He's got dangerous KO power, decent wins, you know, KO'd some pretty good guys. So the guy's good, obviously, but I don't know. He hasn't really been proven in the UFC yet. A lot of these Bellator guys have coming over, not doing too well. So, or Mike Tibek's a pretty tough individual, caveman vibes. I think Mike Tibek probably grounds him, um, and potentially finds a submission, maybe. This could play out very close, so I'm not gonna bet this fight, but I'm gonna lean my Tibek Orolbai. I think Orolbai is more experienced, like I said, or not more experienced, but more UFC experience. Um, I don't know. I trust the Neanderthal from Kyrgyzstan versus Taki from he's fighting at home too, so there's a lot of riding at play here for Musayev, but I don't know. I just think Orolbai is gonna be the more well-rounded fighter. I think he's gonna be in his face pressing. I don't know. Pass fight for me, but yeah, I got Oral Bay here. Not a confident bet. Or pick. Sorry, don't bet on this fight. If you are betting this fight, I guess dog or pass, but pass, man. Moving on, we have Curtis Razor Blades versus Rizvan Kuniev. I got Blades, man. I just haven't seen enough from Kuniev to be like, man, this guy's gonna be good. Like he's really, really good. Like he's shown me absolutely nothing. Kuniev, other than testing positive for steroids, has fought Hugo Cunha, a fraud from Brazil, Anthony Hamilton, some old bum, Edvin Santos, who I don't really know, and a lot of guys I don't know who they are. So it's another he has had bad wins. It's just that I don't know who they are. And I think Kuniev, if he does not get Blaydes out of there early, could potentially death gas. Like, what have we seen in the later rounds from him against someone at this level? So I gotta go with Curtis Blaydes here, just off of the fact that he's KO'd or TKO guys like Jalton Almeida. Um, yeah, he can be dangerous on the feet. He also can be TKO'd, so there's that too. I'm gonna go with Blaydes here, but big pass fight for me, big boys too, so a lot of volatility. Blaydes at this price also is a no-go. So a lot of things in play here that I'm just, more opt to skip out this fight than bet it. I don't really see a lot of opportunities to cash. I gotta go with Blaydes here though. It's just off of experience. I think Blaydes had the more UFC experience, like I said. I think he's gonna have. I think he's gonna be better on the feet. And I think his wrestling is going to nulligate the clinch attempts from Rizvan. So we'll see how this fight plays out. It's heavyweight MMA. Anything can happen. Yeah, I got Razor Blades here by TKO in the later rounds or decision. Moving on, we have Rafael Fizaev taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. I think Bahamondes is probably one of the most dynamic strikers in the division. The problem is he's fighting another very dynamic striker. Good kicking game from both of them. It's gonna be a very, very good fight. I think Fiziev. I don't know. I got to meet Bahamondes in Montreal. Pretty cool dude. Um, yeah, I don't really know with this fight. I think I'm gonna take Fiziev just because I don't know if Bahamondes is gonna be able to pull guard like he did his last fight. I think Fiziev fighting at home is gonna help him too. Bahamondes, he's a good striker. Don't get me wrong, but I think Fiziev's also very good on the feet. Very close fight. Not really gonna have a strong opinion on this fight. I do think Fiziev wins, but not confident enough to put a bet in on it. Or on the underdog. So I gotta go with Fiziev by decision. Or yeah, Fiziev by decision. Bahamondes is very tough. Um, can be hurt, but I don't think he's gonna get TKO'd. Yeah, I gotta go with Fiziev here. Rooting for Bahamondes, but I think Fiziev probably takes it with the output, leg kicks, body kicks. Um, I don't know. It's a good fight though. Like I said, there's not like a crystal ball for this fight how it's magically gonna play. I don't know. There's a lot of good fights these guys have had that prove that this fight should deliver, but anything can happen. So yeah, Fiziev by decision is my pick. Moving on, we have Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill versus Khalil Rountree Jr. Um, I gotta go with Rountree. But if this was like 5 years ago, I'd probably pick Jamal. I just think Jamal's ACL injury, not ACL, sorry, Achilles injury is one of the worst injuries you can come back from, especially in a sport like this where you rely on your explosivity, your movement. I don't think Jamal Hill is going to be able to bounce back from this injury. I think Khalil Rountree knows he has his injuries. He has those oblique stumps. He has so many weapons, whereas Jamal Hill only really has the head kick, a little bit of knees, maybe some decent boxing. I just think Khalil Rountree is going to be riding, even though he got fucked up his last fight. I think so did Jamal Hill, so they both should be riding the same level of confidence, if not Rountree maybe a little more. I don't know, Mom. This is a really good fight. Again, I gotta lean Rountree just off that because of that injury. I can't trust the guy coming off that injury. It's one of the worst injuries to have in the sport. But yeah, I gotta go with Khalil Rountree here. I think he wins by TKO. Um, Definitely a fight that I'm gonna be excited to watch. Is it a fight I'll be betting on? Most likely not, but it is gonna be a good fight nonetheless. I gotta go with Khalil Rountree though. I think he finds a TKO early, rounds one or two. Um, I don't see this fight going to the championship rounds. These guys are killer be killed. Jamal Hill's a little more they're both reserved to an extent, but they both go for it. So I could see someone eating something big and going down. Um, yeah, I gotta go with Roundtree, like I said, for the fourth, fifth time. I just trust him at this stage in his career more than Jamal Hill. So yeah, guys, those are my picks for the card. Let me give you guys my top five picks and get you guys out of here. My number one pick is Oban Elliott. Number two, Curtis Blaydes. Number three, Nazim Sadykhov. Number four, Tagir Ulanbekov. And number five, Muhammad Naimov. Alrighty, guys. You know the drill. Like, subscribe. Yep. All that good stuff. Show some love. You guys think I suck? Comment that below. All of it's just, feedback. I take it all. Sometimes I just ignore it. Sometimes I, take it and try to improve, but most of the time I take it and I try to improve. It's just some jerks on the internet try to just be a jerk for the sake of being a jerk, and I can usually tell the difference between criticism and, being a jerk. So if that is you being a jerk, keep doing you, it is what it is. And if you want to keep the show in love, that's awesome too. Alrighty, guys. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.